Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube painting process video. When I did the video on the Frieren face upstrap meme last week, I figured I might as well just try my hand at doing a full-fledged painting myself here, just to see how I would interpret the face. So here I'll be showing you the approach that I had, and you'll notice that I'll actually just struggle a few things in creating an appealing angle of the face here. And this got me thinking about just how artists have to figure out how to tackle these sort of more difficult and unusual subject matter in their work. Of course, if everything is easy, then that wouldn't be fun, right? There's going to have to be some sort of challenge to make it appealing. And because you will be doing a lot of artwork, there will always be something, at least one thing, that will cause a bit of trouble and make you step back a bit. So in this video, I want to give you 3 of my main tips to prepare yourself for difficult subject matter. Hopefully what I tell you will be helpful for you when, let's say, you're looking to draw Frieren in an upshot angle yourself. Anyways, my number 1 tip is to train your muscle memory enough so that you can preoccupy the difficult parts with your mind. This is something that I've mentioned in a previous video, but it is worth mentioning again. Art has so many different aspects to it, and it is impossible for our minds to grasp every single thing at once. This is why muscle memory is very important. You have to train yourself so that a lot of the aspects become second nature to you. It becomes subconscious. In doing so, you will be able to do a lot of aspects of art like it was a piece of cake. Now, of course, when you sideline all of those fundamentals and aspects of art in your subconscious, then you can use your actual conscious mind to focus on the really difficult parts. Now, what that is largely dependent on the skill level of the artist, as in, artists will be good at certain things and not others, so what is easy and what is difficult will vary. But also, each individual artwork will present unknown problems as you go along. Now, I do recommend planning, thumbnailing, researching your work so you will make it easier for yourself as you paint. But even if you prepare yourself well, you're still going to find unintended problems as you're painting. That's just natural. So when those occur, then you can focus your mind and energy at the issues, since your mind won't have to be preoccupied with the easier stuff. Speaking of planning and research, my second tip is to research and reference extensively. And don't be afraid to gather more research as you're midway of an artwork. This is fairly self-explanatory. Now, if you're just gonna wing it like I do a lot of times, then you're praying that there's not going to be things that will appear as you're working and stall you out. A lot of times you're going to use a lot of time on things that, of course, are going to give you a head scratcher. The easy stuff that's in muscle memory are going to fly through in their process. It's the hard stuff that you'll have to sit down and think about each move. So by researching properly early, you will be able to alleviate a lot of those issues that might occur. So, for instance, if you're looking to draw hands, you probably want to perhaps take photos of your hand or at least get images of them early on, knowing that you may have trouble with them later in the process. A lot of times, if you are not planning extensively, then these problems should create other problems. So let's say if you drew the sketch of your artwork, your hands, improperly, then when you go and fix them, it might cause issues in the composition, for instance. So when you research, plan, and reference early, you're less likely to have those snowballing issues as you go along. So knowing what the difficult subject is going to be early on will help you for sure. And my third and final tip is to simply don't burn yourself out. Anyone watching who likes playing video games will probably have known of a term called tilting. What tilting means is that the more you focus and just keep grinding your head on the wall, the more sunk cost fallacy becomes a problem. And when that happens, you start just doing worse and worse because you feel like you should do better, but you don't. When you frustrate yourself, your performance objectively gets worse. So if there is a very difficult part in your painting process, perhaps you want to step back and take a break. Then think about it and come back to it later on. When you have a clear mind that's not frustrated, you will figure out solutions eventually. And sometimes, even when you take a break, you step back, you realize it might not be worth it. You might want to restart it and do something better. So, it's one of those things where just giving yourself a bit of space will help you in the long run. You don't have to rush each artwork. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Now, of course, people watching this might think, well, I'm showing you my painting process videos, and they seem to be done fairly quickly. Most of these are done in a few hours at most. But what I'm not showing you is the fact that a lot of times there are going to be breaks. I'm obviously just going to show you the continuous painting processes. And I'm not considering the breaks in between when I'm calculating the number of hours in the beginning of these videos. I'm only showing you what the raw footage gave me, which is, of course, when I'm actively painting. So for those who think that I'm just continuously doing these paintings, no, it's not that simple. I'm definitely editing it so that it is continuous for you. I will take much needed breaks when there is something that is not working for me and I need to think about it a little bit more. And then I come back to it as if nothing happened because I can record again. As a really final note, if you are really struggling with a piece of artwork, one extension to this is just to work on multiple pieces of artwork and have some easier work that you can deal with in the times when something else is too hard. When you have something easier to draw lined up, then you won't feel guilty to take breaks because you can always work on the easier stuff that you can keep moving forward with, rather than taking breaks and stalling with the harder work. It's very important to understand what's going to be easy and what's going to be difficult for you. So know that nobody really likes just working continuously on really, really difficult things. You can have breaks by just working on easier tasks. So for workaholics like I am, breaks just means that I'm working on something else if I feel like I am stalling on another piece. Anyways, that's all that I have to say. Like this video and subscribe. It'll greatly help my channel here. Any support would be great. Here's the final piece of Frieren in the upshot angle. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.